And the realtor said to me, tee hee hee. And I said, what are you laughing about? Oh, whatever. They're looking at for sale by owners today. Who is? My buyers are. Well, shouldn't that make you mad? No. Why not? Well, they signed a buyer's locating agreement. They signed that they'd only work with me. Well, then why didn't you find that for sale by owner for them? I don't have to. They're driving around, they're looking. Well, why aren't you looking for them? Tee hee. Well, see, they signed this buyer's agent agreement, so they have to work with me. So if they buy it for sale by owner, they still have to pay me, right? Well, that's not fair. It's a legal binding agreement. I took them to court on it before, threatened court, had my attorney call them. Yeah. What price range are you looking at? About $400,000. So you get about, what, $12,000? Yeah. And you're just kind of waiting for them to find it. Well, I showed them a few, she says. But basically, she was just waiting for them to either find it for sale by owner or drive around and find a property or find a property in a magazine, and then she'd call and make the appointment, and she'd get the money because she was locked into a buyer's agreement. Now they say you have to sign this buyer's agreement, this locating agreement. This is what gives me permission to legally represent you. Well, you need to amend that. You need to have a special piece that you staple to it and you make them sign it. If I find my own property without you, I don't owe you anything. If I find it for sale by owner to buy and go through a title company and don't use a realtor, I don't have to pay you anything as a buyer's agent. So you basically have to spell all of this out and they teach them that in these accredited buyer's agent classes. Basically, screwing the consumer over. You're basically tied to them and you have to pay them whether they find you something or you find it yourself. One more not so full service or one more not so integrity and honesty brought to you by the National Association of Realtors. Demand more. SavvyBroker.com.